In the Horn of Africa, the self-declared Republic of Somaliland has quietly maintained peace and democratic order for over 3 decades. For years, it was ignored by the world, its calls for recognition drowned out by the commitment to a unified Somalia. But in early 2012, and early 2026, everything changed. The catalyst, a landmark deal in January 2024, when Ethiopia recognized Somaliland's sovereignty in exchange for a 50-year lease on a stretch of coastline for a naval base and port access. This move shattered regional norms, thrusting Somaliland into the center of a new geopolitical contest. The fallout was immediate. Somalia, Egypt, and Turkey condemned the deal, while the Red Sea became even more contested. Somaliland now finds itself a kingmaker, balancing the ambitions of powerful partners while fiercely guarding its hard-won autonomy. Its journey is a lesson in how strategic geography and pragmatic diplomacy can elevate even the most overlooked state onto the world stage. At the heart of Somaliland's rise is the port of Berbera, a gateway connecting Africa's interior to global trade routes. Overlooking the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, Berbera's location gives it leverage over a vital maritime choke point. For Ethiopia, Berbera means economic independence from Djibouti and a chance to revive its naval ambitions. The 2024 deal to develop a corridor to Berbera was a strategic gamble for Ethiopia, seeking secure sea access and diversified trade. Regional instability, especially Houthi attacks in the Red Sea, made Berbera's stability even more valuable. The UAE, through DP World, invested over $440 million to modernize the port and build the Berbera corridor, embedding its influence in the region. Berbera is now more than a port. It's a strategic asset shaping the future of the Horn of Africa. Its transformation signals a new era of competition and opportunity along the Red Sea. The UAE's investment in Somaliland is part of a broader strategy, a Red Sea corridor of influence stretching from the Horn of Africa to the Suez Canal. Berbera is a critical link in this chain, joining Emirati assets in Eritrea, Yemen, and Puntland. The UAE blends economic investment with security partnerships, training Somaliland's forces and ensuring stability for its interests. This approach creates cycles of dependency and alignment, making the UAE an indispensable partner for Somaliland and Ethiopia. The rivalry with Turkey, which backs Somalia, turns Berbera into a strategic beachhead in a wider contest for regional dominance. The Horn of Africa is now a battleground for influence between the UAE, Turkey, and their allies. Berbera's fate is tied to this high-stakes geopolitical game. While the UAE operates openly, Israel quietly pursues its interests in Somaliland. The Red Sea is Israel's maritime lifeline, and Houthi attacks exposed its vulnerability. A stable Somaliland with a secure Berbera offers Israel strategic depth and a potential hub for intelligence and surveillance. Through its partnership with the UAE, Israel supports Somaliland indirectly, sharing intelligence and technology to bolster security. This arrangement lets Israel counter Iran and Turkey's influence without formal recognition or diplomatic fallout. Somaliland's coastline has become a discreet but vital link in Israel's regional security strategy. In the shadows, alliances are forged that shape the balance of power across the Red Sea. South Sudan, though small, has emerged as a unique diplomatic connector in the Horn of Africa. With ties to Israel and the UAE, and its own need for alternative trade routes, South Sudan sees opportunity in the Berbera corridor. President Salva Kiir's visit to Hargeisa signaled Juba's interest in joining this emerging economic bloc. South Sudan's involvement lends legitimacy to the Somaliland-Ethiopia partnership and helps mediate regional tensions. Even smaller states can play pivotal roles, weaving themselves into the fabric of new alliances and shaping the region's future. Somaliland's rise is part of a larger transformation. The Red Sea is now one of the world's most contested geopolitical arenas. The US and China face off in Djibouti, while Turkey, Egypt and the UAE compete for influence along the coast. Turkey's military presence in Somalia and Egypt's support for Mogadishu have deepened rivalries, turning the Horn into a new front in old disputes. For Somaliland, foreign investment brings opportunity but also the risk of entanglement in great power conflicts. The Red Sea is no longer just a trade route. It's a theater for global ambitions. Somaliland's ability to navigate this crowded landscape will determine its fate. For Hargeisa, international attention is both a blessing and a challenge. The Ethiopia-UAE partnership brings investment and leverage, but also imports their rivalries and risks dependency. Somaliland faces diplomatic isolation from Somalia, Egypt, and Turkey, and must guard against destabilization efforts. Its strategy diversify partnerships, highlight its stability and democracy, and appeal to Western interests as a counterweight to China and Turkey. Every deal is a balancing act, leveraging foreign ambitions to build state capacity while fiercely protecting sovereignty. Somaliland's leaders must play partners off each other, emphasizing shared interests and their value as a security provider. The stakes are high. The wrong move could cost Somaliland its hard-won autonomy. Success depends on maintaining balance in a high-stakes diplomatic game. Somaliland's path to recognition is built on economic indispensability, not diplomatic appeals. By transforming Berbera into a global port with DP World's investment, Somaliland internationalized its cause. The UAE became a powerful advocate, lobbying for Somaliland's stability and success. The 2024 deal with Ethiopia made Somaliland essential to a regional powerhouse, cracking the diplomatic dam of non-recognition. This model, commercial sovereignty, shows that economic leverage can achieve what traditional diplomacy cannot. Somaliland's strategy is a lesson for other unrecognized states. Become vital to global supply chains, and the world cannot ignore you. Statehood now runs through boardrooms as much as through the halls of the UN. Somaliland is proving that commerce can be the key to sovereignty. Somaliland's story is a powerful example of how small, strategic states can reshape global politics. In a multipolar world, nimble nations with valuable geography can punch far above their weight. Somaliland's leaders turned their coastline into a diplomatic asset, attracting partners who need them as much as they need their partners. This symbiotic approach allowed them to negotiate from strength, becoming a linchpin in the Red Sea's security and economic architecture. The lesson is clear for today, is about connectivity, location, and agility, not just size or military might. The Horn of Africa's shifting alliances reveal a world where small states can change the game. Somaliland's journey shows that even the smallest players can hold the keys to the future. As we look ahead, the geopolitical story of Somaliland and the wider Horn of Africa is far from over. The region stands at a crossroads, where the choices made today will echo for decades. Somaliland's growing international profile could inspire other unrecognized or emerging states, reshaping norms of recognition and sovereignty. Yet opportunities bring risks. The Red Sea's strategic waters will remain a magnet for global competition, and Somaliland's balancing act will only grow more complex. Will new partnerships bring prosperity, or entangle the region in great power rivalries? Can Somaliland leverage its newfound influence to secure lasting peace and development, or will external pressures test its resilience? For the Horn of Africa, Somaliland's success could catalyze regional integration, or trigger new rivalries as neighbors race to secure their own place in the geopolitical spotlight. One thing is certain: the world will be watching as this vital corridor continues to shape the future of trade, security, and diplomacy on the global stage. As we close this journey through Somaliland's strategic rise and the evolving dynamics of the Horn of Africa, a few crucial insights stand out. First, geography remains destiny. Somaliland's location on the Red Sea corridor has transformed it from a regional outlier into a critical player on the world stage. Second, the power of pragmatic diplomacy and economic engagement is clear. Even without formal recognition, Somaliland demonstrates how commerce and connectivity can open new doors. But the story doesn't end here. The region's future will be shaped by how well Somaliland and its neighbors navigate the pressures of global competition, balance national interests with regional collaboration, and adapt to shifting alliances. The stakes are high. The Horn of Africa has the potential to become a hub of stability and prosperity, or a flashpoint for renewed rivalry. For policymakers, investors, and everyday citizens alike, the lesson is simple. What happens in Somaliland and along the Red Sea matters far beyond its borders. As the world's attention turns to this vital corridor, the decisions made today will ripple outward, influencing the course of history for years to come. Stay tuned, as the next chapter in this unfolding story is sure to be as compelling as the last.